What is up, bros and broettes? I'm Inkslasher, and today we have Infinite Warfare. The beta came out today, and if you have pre-ordered the game, you will have the beta. That's how you have to get it. Unfortunately, you have to pre-order the game, but today I'm going to be showing you supply drops and then the Armory. So, basically, supply drops can get you a whole bunch of stuff, customizable stuff, weapon camos, pretty much everything you could think customization-wise, and then it can also get you weapons and salvage. If you look up in the top right above me right now of the screen, you can see three things up there. My level is on the right. In the middle is 36 keys. You can look at those as like almost like crypto keys. And then to the left of that is the amount of salvage I have. So if we go to the quartermaster, which is essentially the black market of Infinite Warfare, we have two options: common supply drops and rare supply drops. Exactly the same as Black Ops 3. Now, as of right now, there is no way to actually spend money and buy these. I am sure there will be in the future. I don't know whether you'll just be able to buy keys or what. So, on top of that, there is also the Armory, which we'll be looking at after we open up some supply drops. But the difference is, so common supply drops say no guarantees, slight chance of dropping rare, legendary, or epic items, whereas rare supply drops says guarantees one rare item or better, increased chance of legendary and epic items, includes bonus salvage. That's kind of like the big thing there. When you open a rare supply drop, you are going to get bonus salvage. That is one way of getting salvage. Another way of completing salvage that I have figured out so far is completing challenges. So why don't we go ahead and open, I'm going to open 3 commons just because I think that's going to give us a little bit better of a chance of getting some more weapons, because we'll have 3 chances to get weapons as opposed to 1 chance of opening it. And by the way, these things look a whole lot more like slot machines than they did in Black Ops 3. You'll see. Have a look. And give me some weapons. Give me some weapons. Give me some weapons. That's not a weapon. That's a weapon. So what did we get there? So we got a pink camouflage. There's some really ridiculous camouflages in this game. Then we got the KBRA, KBRA 32 haste, and that adds readiness to the weapon. And then we got a calling card. So nothing too special, just a common weapon. Let's open another one. Hopefully we get a little bit more lucky. Maybe like a rare weapon. Maybe even better. Maybe an epic weapon, right? An epic calling card? 3 calling cards. That's the... I am not lucky when it comes to opening up supply drops, by the way, but we did get 1 weapon, so give me another weapon. That's not a weapon. That's a weapon. Alright, so we got a synaptic uniform, which can make us look a little bit red. We got the raw quick shot light machine gun, and then we got the rewind calling card. So now that we've opened our supply drops, you'll see that I have 6 keys left. I played, I believe, 4 games, 3 or 4 games, and got 6 keys. One game I got 1 key, second game I got 2, and the third game I got 3. So I don't know if it's the more you play games in a row, the more likely you are to get keys. Not 100% sure yet. As soon as I know that, I will let you guys know. Now, if we go to the Armory. So now we're going to go ahead and look at the Armory. I got rid of the webcam because there's no point in having it there. You might as well have the whole screen to look at. But there's 2 types, the Prototype Lab and the Mission Team Depot. The Prototype Lab is where you see most of your guns, and then the Mission Team Depot is something else altogether. So let's explain how this works, because I think there's a large misconception with how this actually works. So, to unlock these weapons, what you have to do is have the level lower unlocked. So, for example, to unlock the common NV4, you have to have the regular NV4. To unlock the rare NV4 Vigilance, you have to have the Exalted unlocked. To unlock the Fallout, you have to have the Vigilance and the Exalted unlocked. To unlock the Flatline, you have to have the Fallout, Vigilance, and Exalted unlocked. So, what I'm getting at here is that you have to get the lowest tier first and work your way up to higher tier. Now, I'm pretty sure you can just unlock, let's say, the Wrecked straight out of a supply drop, but to unlock it via salvage, you have to unlock all the lower variants. Then we can go over to the Mission Team Depot. The Mission Team Depot is kind of more of the same thing, but a little bit different. So as you can see, my mission team up in the top right there is the JTF Wolverines, which we will talk about in a future video, but we got the JTF Wolverines and the Orion group, and so as you can see here, you can actually unlock certain weapons based off of the JTF Wolverines or based off the Orion group. So if I level up the JTF Wolverines to level 7, I will unlock the Counterweight. If I level up to 15, I unlock the Commission. Level 22, Havoc. Level 30, Windfall. Super simple. So then when we come back to the prototype lab here, I'm going to show you how to craft things. So for example, here we got the KBAR32, and I have 550 salvage. It costs 540 to actually create. So if I go ahead and click on it, just press X, do you want to craft this weapon? I say yes. My salvage disappears, and all of a sudden I have the rare KBRA. And since we crafted that, now we of course have the option to craft the KBAR32 legendary horde variant of it. Now, I wouldn't say this is the best variant, and we'll go through and look at a couple of variants here, but the thing that upsets me a little bit, and I'm not 100% sure about this, is that when we were told about this, we were told that we would be able to dismantle the weapons into the salvage. So say for example, I didn't like the KBAR32 haste prototype, and then what I could do with it is I could just dismantle it and take whatever salvage it's worth, or same with the KBAR32 Radiant. So I actually haven't been able to actually find a way to dismantle anything, but what I'm thinking is that you actually have to have a duplicate of a weapon, so you already have to have it unlocked and then receive it in a supply drop, then you can dismantle, unless I'm just blind or dumb or something. But let's say for example we want to equip one of those weapon variants that we have. We can go to create a class, and then what you actually have to do is let's say we go to create a class 3 here, and you go to the weapon that we just crafted, so the KBAR. We can click on it here, and then we can just scroll through the different variants with your left and right on your D-pad. So here we got the haste, here we got the radiant, so on and so forth. And what's cool about them is each of them has their kind of old camo and look to them. So if we want to equip that one, we just press X on it, and all of a sudden the Radiant is equipped, and we can see up in the top we've got Head Rush and Focus. But let's actually head back to the Armory and look at some of the really ridiculous variants, because there's some insane ones here. Alright, so for example, the NV4 Flatline, the precision aspect to it, it says infinite damage range. I don't know exactly what that means. I assume the damage never drops off, but does that always mean it's going to be like a 3-bullet kill or a 4-bullet kill across the entire map? That's a little bit ridiculous. And then on top of that, we can see reduced idle sway while aiming down sights, so that makes it a little bit easier to aim. Here's one that I find really ridiculous, is we got the Ripper here. So the Ripper has increased fire rate, so you'd think the negative aspect to this weapon is that it would be a little bit less accurate. However, it also has focus on it, and focus actually reduces idle sway while aiming down sights. So what this means is it's going to have less, it's going to be easier to aim, and it's going to have a faster fire rate at the same time. It'll have a little bit more recoil, but it'll still be easier to aim with a faster fire rate. That's ridiculously good. This is another interesting one. It's also for the RPR Evo, and this one has roll the dice, so get one random attachment when you spawn. So it's interesting, but I don't think that one's as useful as, let's say, rapid fire. Here's another interesting one for the Liberty. You got Make It Rain. Double magazine size, can no longer reload. That's a really interesting one. I found this one shocking. So what this one looks like, it's called Heavy Hitter. Double the damage of the weapon, but a slower fire rate. That could either be really great or really bad, depending on what the fire rate is already on the weapon. So once we get some stats for the game, we'll actually see how good that one is exactly. And then also Sharpshooter, increased damage range. So this thing is just going to be a damage machine once you have the Mammoth version of it. And of course, we've got some pretty interesting ones here, like the Calamity. You got Nuclear, so 25 player kill earns a deatomizer strike. So it's not called a tactical nuke, it's called a deatomizer strike, and I'm sure we'll figure out what that is once we actually play the single player. Also, stockpile increased ammo. This is another really interesting one here. So this is normally a burst fire weapon called the REK. I love the variant name of it, the Wrecked, but this one is interesting because now this weapon fires as fully automatic with reduced recoil. So it's more accurate and fully automatic. That seems ridiculously good. It says the fire rate's lowered, but technically it's not because it'll be burst delay with the normal weapon, so that's definitely an interesting one as well. But what I think is going to be really interesting is that when the actual game comes out and we actually see the weapon stats and all of that stuff, it's going to be really interesting to see how they actually balance all of this and if it's possible for them to balance it. Because if you remember Infinite Warfare, the last game we have with weapon variants, they had the Inferno, they had the Obsidian Steed, and they had the Speakeasy, which were all insanely good weapons, and then they had the Insanity, which was also an insane weapon, and they just couldn't balance them because there were so many different weapons that were just so overpowered in so many different ways. It's next to impossible to balance. The more there is to balance, the harder it is for the developer to actually balance it. So it'll be interesting to see what they actually do with that. But But as soon as we get stats and all of that stuff, I'll be bringing you guys lots of videos on weapons, versus series, and all of that stuff. So hit that subscribe button if you're interested in that. We got some really good videos coming this weekend. We're going to talk about the crypto keys, we're going to talk about the salvage, and we're going to talk about probably the mission teams, because that is the only way I've actually got salvage so far. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. I know it was a little bit longer than I thought a supply drop opening would be, but I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I will see you tomorrow, and until next time, peace out.
All the pain.